Hello friends, welcome you all on this Drishti IAS platform. This is Praveen Pandey, a senior faculty, sociology subject and in general studies, Indian society for paper 1 and social justice for paper 2. In the series of discussions on the questions we have this year, I'm going to have discussion on the questions related to Indian society. Let's have the questions. But before that, we have here some trend analysis as well. Year-wise, like in 2017, we had questions, 65 marker questions on Indian society. Then 2018 and 19, 90 marker question. In 2020, we had 75 marker question, and this year we have 80 marker questions. And it's about the questions. I mean, the section we are from, we have the questions. 2 questions from Salient Features of Indian society, then 1 from issues related to women, and 1 question from urbanization. We have 1 question from urbanization, and 1 question from population, and 1 question, 2 questions that is related to impact of globalization on Indian society. Right. So the first question: examine the uniqueness of tribal knowledge system when compared with the mainstream knowledge and cultural system. Yes. So with the comparison, when we find that tribal people, they have their knowledge system, a quite unique knowledge system on that they have, we have to examine that one. Is it really unique, and is it really a good knowledge system, the one that they possess? So let's see what exactly is the condition. As far as mainstream is concerned, in fact, what I'm going to tell you about the evolutionary pattern, the one that we had, and in fact everyone was having. Like we started, like others, we started from hunting and gathering society, then we moved into horticulture society, then to agriculture, and finally to industrial society. So today we are in this industrial society that is supported by a huge knowledge related to science and technology, because we are depending on machines. We have machines, and the production is being done by machines only. So it is definitely supported by a big knowledge related to science and technology. In comparison, the tribal people, tribal groups, they are either in horticulture. I mean, some of them, they are even hunting and gathering stage. Then some others, they moved into horticulture, and some others, they are to some extent in agricultural stage, but definitely not in industrial stage. If some of them, they have moved into industrial, it is just because that they have become part of this mainstream to which we actually belong. They haven't created it. So this is first thing, the one that on the basis of comparison we get it. But another thing, the one that is related to their knowledge system, the way we define tribal groups, we define them as communities. They are communities having specific culture, specific religion, specific language, and specific political and economic conditions and so statuses. They are communities. Community means what? Community is related to a place where people stay with we feeling, And you know that tribals, they are known for this particular thing. Like just I name one particular tribal group, and you can tell which place did they belong to. So it means that they were communities, and they have specific culture, specific religion, all these things. As far as culture is concerned, in fact, we define culture as culture is handiwork of man. Culture is handiwork of man, which man creates to fulfill one's needs, requirements. So whatever requirements or needs we had earlier and whatever we have today, accordingly we create the things, and whatever we create or created, in toto, the same is called culture. That is called culture. So culture is basically handiwork of man. It is creation of man. It means that culture is something which is related to knowledge. Knowledge से ही आप create करोगे. It is something which is related to knowledge. So when we talk about this, tribal knowledge system, or knowledge and cultural system, so the two are related together. We have culture, it means that we have knowledge. We have knowledge, it means that we are going to have a culture. We are going to create a culture. Very simply. So the two complement each other. The two are related with each other. Now, as far as their knowledge is concerned, they have definitely some unique knowledge of their own. And one thing should definitely be commended and should be presented here, and that is their knowledge related to biodiversity, environment, and its preservation. They have huge knowledge related to the same thing. But this knowledge is something which is supported with one more thing, that is specific religion. As far as this specific religion is concerned, like others, like even we also started with the same type of religion, but today we have advanced religion as well. So the religion with which they started, that is known as totemism. Totemism. What is totemism? It's about worship of ancestors. Worship of ancestors. And as far as ancestors are concerned, they are in fact unknown. Not known to the people. They are unknown. And they are actually seen in in different forms, like animals, birds, trees, plants, etc. So when any tribal group is having a belief that no, this particular animal or bird or snake or this particular tree is the one having a relation with one ancestor, it is none other than their own ancestor to who they are the descendants. They worship, it means that they are not going to put any harm to the same. That way, they go for preservation of the same thing. So that is like knowledge is connected with all these things. So when you connect all these things together, you would be in a position to explain this whole beautifully. And now when you say that not only that they have knowledge related to biodiversity, but and altogether they go for preservation of the same thing. This is something which is connected with all these, like the knowledge, cultural elements, knowledge, and the religious belief related to totemism. Yes. Even we also, isn't it like we worship some such animals, some such trees and plants? We do, but they have a great belief in the same. Still, they have the same belief. We got some advancement there, but they have still the same belief, and that way it is seen. Further, this belief is something which is transferred from one generation to another, and for that they have developed one more thing, and that is part of their culture, and it is known as youth dormitory. It is known as youth dormitory. Youth dormitories. So different tribes, they have different youth dormitory by different names. For example, if I quote a few, you can take it like Bhotiyas in Uttar Pradesh. The youth dormitory is known as Rang Bang. Rang Bang. R-A-N-G-B-A-N-G. Rang Bang. Khasi, Chang. They have by name Chang. Yes. Juang by the name Darbar. Urao tribes, Dhumkuria and Muria, Gond, they have the youth dormitory in the name Ghotul. 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 What is the purpose of this youth dormitory? The youth dormitory is a kind of club for them, and it's a place where not only that the tribal council, they used to sit and used to have some major decisions, but altogether on one particular time the youths or the teenagers, boys and girls, they are invited by the old people, and they are taught the cultural elements in a very specific manner. So in that way it is being transferred from one generation to another. So all these things are beautifully connected, and that way they have a unique knowledge base of their own, and that is like being transcended from one to another. Okay. Now let me give you some examples related to their knowledge, and one that is related to their knowledge related to biodiversity. As per one research that was conducted for Munda tribes, it is found that they had the knowledge of 71 different wild trees and plants, which they used to, they were mostly leafy plants, and they were making use of the same for vegetables and for preparing some medicines as well. Right. In another research in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana tribes, it is found that the tribal people, they consider trees and plants as a sacred grove. They consider same as sacred grove. What does it mean? It means that they are going to worship the same. They keep worshipping the same thing. Yes. Like we can take so many examples. Simile tree that is being worshipped by considering same as it is considered equivalent to goddess Durga, and being worshipped at the time of Dashera. Simile tree. Similarly, Kusum plant, that is equivalent to Basari goddess Basari, and is being worshipped. Sal tree, that is considered as the main deity, main god of the village, and that is worshipped. Similarly, the tribes, like Pauri Bhuiya tribe of Odisha, they basically worship Bel and Aswath. They are trees. Bel, that is, I think it is the leaves of the same are offered to Lord Shiva, Bel, and Aswath is another one. So they worship these two important trees. Pauri Bhuiya, P-A-U-D-I, Pauri, B-H-U-B-H-U-Y-A-N, Bhuiya. Right. I'll quote one more example that is related to the tribes and one tribe in Andaman Island, that is Onge tribe. Though there are many tribes there, and they are in fact primitive tribes and today known as PVTG, particularly vulnerable tribal group. So one of them is Onge. Onge. Well, there are others like Shompane, Sentinely, Great Andamani, Jarwa, Onge. 5 different PVTGs are there in that area. So particularly Onge, they actually used to hunt wild pigs, but altogether they go for preservation of the same as well. How? It is not like that they have gone for hunting. It means that they keep on hunting and until it is completely extincted. No, they just hunt. Suppose one pig is hunt in one area. So how to preserve the same? Like other people should not hunt it, at least in that area. So what generally a method, the one that they have adopted, that they select the biggest tree in that area. The person goes there and breaks the branch of that big tree by half. Yes. So what happens that when any Onge moves in that area for hunting wild pig, but finding that first of all he is going to look at is there any such incident happened here, like any big tree and its branch is broken by half, and if he finds that yes it is broken, it means that someone has already hunted in this area and I should not, तो वो वहां से उस एरिया से बाहर निकल जाता है, वो वहां पे हंट नहीं करता. How long? So until that broken branch is dried completely, then only now it becomes eligible, that place becomes eligible for hunt. So that way they go for preservation as well. That's the speciality. Just इनका दिमाग देखो, मतलब किस तरीके से अपना knowledge का use कर रहे हैं ये लोग. What a beautiful thing. Yes. Apart from that, some tribes in Maharashtra, and particularly like in Chandrapur, Gadchiroli, Amravati, they have been using again like preservation of biodiversity aspects, and that is something which is supported with the with Tribal Forest Rights Act or Forest Rights Act, you can say FRA. With that it is supported. This point is well mentioned, it is well attached, and finally what happened that once those people they got their rights, in 2014 they got the right to cultivate, particularly the tribes of Chandrapur and Gadchiroli, to cultivate bamboo plant, and they have on the basis of their particular knowledge, they doubled the production of bamboo within 3 years, and then after they had proper bargaining power with merchants as well. The tribes of Amravati, they not only that they have been in production of bamboo, but altogether the production of amla, teak, yes, gooseberry, teak, all these, and apart from that they have gone for water conservation as well. Yes. So this is something like they have been adapting earlier, and this is being used after giving them proper rights related to FRA, Forest Rights Act. Fine. So that is where like you have to show different examples. Apart from looking into all these things, what happened that in the year 2001, one enactment was done that's known as Plant Varieties and Farmers Rights Act 2001, and in 2002 another enactment related to biodiversity was the Biological Diversity Act 2002, and further it is related with the patent issues as well. I'll give you one example, again, related to the knowledge and how it is being used by the scientific institutions to create some particular drug to treat the patients for different diseases. And this is something, this is like the Keral's Kani tribes. Kani tribes. They were actually, with the help of Arogya Pacha plant, they were making some medicines with the help of its leaves. Arogya Pacha. The same method, exactly the same method, was applied by the Tropical and Botanical Research Institute, TBGRI. The Tropical and Botanical Research Institute, and with the help of their knowledge, they created one drug that's known as Jeevanee. Jeevanee. This is the one that I was talking about. And in fact, with proper contract, like whatever the profit is there, there will be 50-50 sharing between the two. So 50% share is given to the tribal people, Kani tribes, that is given. And it's done even today, that properly done. And similarly, like the Methi tribes in Assam and Manipur, they are also into the preservation of the natural things, different plants and animals, right? So that's like we have to discuss their knowledge base and how it is unique. So we have gone for comparison. We have seen the how culture and knowledge, they are correlated, how it is further related with totemism, and in that way biodiversity and examples. So that's why like you have to complete your answers. I hope you understand it in a proper manner. Yes. So let's take the next question. Examine the role of gig economy in the process of empowerment of women in India. Gig economy in the process of empowerment of women. As far as empowerment is concerned, this something is seen in three different ways, like their participation in economic activities, economic participation. Anyone's, like it's not just for women, but as far as empowerment is concerned, it's related to any person. So economic participation, then their role in decision making, that is political, and thirdly, like once it is done in at these two levels, so obviously they get a good socio cultural status. Socio cultural status. Fine. That is simply the meaning of empowerment. So you can start with the same, like what is meaning of empowerment, and it is, if it is related to women, so women, their participant, the economic participation. Further, next stage is related to their decision making, the contribution in decision making, and I mean politically. And thirdly, like they are going to improve their socio-cultural status. It means that they are being empowered in the society. Okay. Now coming to gig economy. What is gig economy? This is something which is related to a free market system where the organizations, they hire some free workers on a contractual basis. I mean, temporarily. On temporary basis, they are being hired. And accordingly, some salary fixation or stipend fixation is there that is being paid to them. But they are not given any social security. And in that way, they are this gig economy is the one that is equivalent to, it becomes equivalent to informal sector. informal sector where no social security is there. Yes, so even this is also equivalent to informal sector. As per one report presented by Boston Consulting Group, the number of workers in under gig economy is somewhere around 15 million in India. Yes. Now coming to the conditions related to women and how their number is increasing in gig economy, and in that way how they are being empowered. But altogether, so here it is examine. So we have to examine, we have to see both pros and cons, both positive and negative things. It's not just like you have talked about of only empowermental issue, but you have to see if some negative things are also attached with the same. So we have to see both the things together. Fine. First of all, what we have seen that after globalization, there has been occupational diversification, and because of that, there has been male migration from the rural areas to urban areas. Huge number of male people, they have moved to urban areas, and that way there has been complete dearth of the workers in agriculture. Now, because of that, women got opportunity to move in the scene and to replace men. This is what is called feminization of agriculture. This is called feminization of agriculture. So positive thing is that though this word itself is negative, it's not positive thing, but still we have to take some positive thing, feminization. It is something increasing role of women in agriculture. So earlier they have been in household activities only, and they were not into any productive activity. But now they are moving into productive activity, and in that way they have started becoming producers. Yes. So what was done earlier by males only, now it's being done by females. That is positive thing. But agriculture is feminized. It is negative in a way that their role is devalued. Their activities are devalued. Yes, there is the work is devaluation of work was done. It means that devaluation of their work. Whatever they do, it means that they are not paid equivalent to male. The way they have been paid, they are not being paid. Yes. And this is something further, it is related to feminization of poverty. This is further related to feminization poverty. What is it? So just take one example to understand it. Had it been a male member here working, and suppose he was getting 600 rupees per day, I mean, as a wage, in the form of wage, he is getting 600 rupees, and he is suppose having 20 days work in a month. So 20 into rupees 600, he would have been getting around 12,000 rupees. But being a female, suppose she is getting 20 days work, but she is paid only 200 rupees. 200 rupees or 150 rupees, not more than that. Just because that she is a female, and in that way, she is getting 4,000 rupees. So rather than 12,000, she is getting just 4,000 rupees. It means that every month she is becoming poorer by 8,000 rupees. She is becoming poorer by 8,000 rupees every month. This is what is meaning of feminization of poverty. Yes, she is becoming poorer just because that she is a female. This is what is called feminization of poverty. That is a negative aspect of the same. Okay. Now coming to another one. Because of globalization itself, what further happened that globalization has made people high level of consumers. Because of consumeristic nature, they started purchasing so many things because it is quite available. Finance is available, even though you do not have money, but you can get it financed. You can purchase it, and people started having so many such items in their houses. But since income is not increasing proportionately, so it put a bad impact on the family budget, and whatever be the income, that was not sufficient now for the different expenses related to family. So finally, women, they had to come forward, and they had to do some activities, women related to lower class and lower middle class families. Since they were expert in doing some such activities, that is related to stitching, kneading, all these. So contractors, they came in contact to the contractors, and in that way they got some job. Yes, they started doing the work. So good thing is that they are doing work and they are earning something. Bad thing is that even their work is also devalued, and there is feminization of poverty even in this case. क्योंकि जितना पैसा उनको मिलना चाहिए उतना पैसा उनको नहीं मिल रहा है, बहुत कम मिल रहा है, and they also become poorer every month by some amount. Yes, so both positive and negative things are there. Another positive thing that since earlier they were not earners, today they have become earners. In that way, they are breaking the patriarchal mindset, patriarchal activities. Yes, they are breaking it down. And apart from that, since they are earners, so they are into decision making now in family. They have started thinking about of their children's education, particularly their daughter's education. They want their daughter to complete a level of education so that they could live their life with proper dignity. So these are positive things, but negative thing, that is like devaluation of work, and that will like feminization of work, and so feminization of poverty. Correct? Now coming back to the next one, that is generally middle class people, the number of middle class that increased after globalization. The income to some extent increased, not much, but to some extent. So they've started using maid services in the houses. Earlier in big cities, people they were doing it, but now it's being done at small towns as well, and even in villages as well. So the good thing is that there's so many women, they are getting a job, though lowly paid, but they are getting some job. And yes, negative thing again, like they are not properly paid. I mean, devaluation of work, that is negative thing. So in that way also the number is increasing. Next is because of again lot of consumeristic items, so the flooding in the market. So many more shops, many new shops they were created, and now they required many sales girls also, sales boys and sales girls. So many sales girls, they have been given job, so also their number increased. And further, that is BPO industry, business process outsourcing. That too is the new thing after globalization. There's something which is related to developed societies, developed countries, where because of the scarcity of manpower, they came in contact with some such companies in developing countries, and their work is being done by these companies. These companies, they started hiring males and females. Yes, and that way like job, there has been job creation. Lakhs of youths, they got the job in BPO industry. It's very promising and emerging industry after globalization. But yes, good salary and different other amenities are being provided. But negative thing is that first of all, the work is done in the night because of the time problem. Like we have our daytime means their nighttime, their daytime means our nighttime here. Yes. We have to work according to them daytime, so we have to work in the night itself. Working in night has so many problems. It is related to health problems are there. And another thing is, as for women are concerned, security problem is another big problem. Many incidents already happened. Yes. And another thing, that health is deteriorating to the level that it is badly impacting your reproduction health as well. And many more problems are coming up related to the reproduction health. Yes, that further is creating problem in family. हस्बैंड वाइफ के बीच का जो रिलेशनशिप है वो बहुत ज़्यादा it is getting distorted. Yes. So many such problems are there. Apart from that, economic terms or otherwise like cultural aspect, ultra mod culture that is developing, cigarette smoking, drug addiction, alcoholism being rampant, phenomenal among those. Yes, card culture is coming up. Card उनको मिल जाता है, credit card, but income is limited, and since the expenditure is increasing, so finally because of low income and not in position to pay back properly, they are having some neuro problems. Yes, anxiety and all those problems that they are becoming common. So both positive and negative dimensions are attached even here as well. And at the level of cooperative, women's position is good. I mean, the empowerment level is good. So we can quote certain things like Amul, Anand Milk Union Limited, where with the help of self-employed women's association, SEVA, more than 6,000 organizations, women organizations are working and employing more than 1 lakh women in the same. That is one good thing. Lizzat Papad, a cooperative system that is making in making of papad, and from across the country, 45,000 women they are employed, right? And another we can take, that is self-help group, that is also cooperative based system. In that women related self-help groups in India, that is around 44.5 lakh self-help groups they are working, and that so many women they are working. Yes. So that way we have to see how empowerment is being done, and we have also examined, we have seen negative dimensions as well. So that's why we have to discuss it. Fine. Right. Let's see another question. What are the main socio-economic implications arising out of development of IT industries in major cities? Socio-economic implications in India, I mean, cities of India, right? In fact, this is something which is related to big cities, million cities, or metropolitan cities, or otherwise like where in the nearby where IT industry, IT hub that's created. So what are the implications, socio-economic implications? This is what is the demand in the question. This is what that we have to discuss. Well, this is something that we have to discuss. So we'll divide it in two parts, two major parts. General issues on the one hand, and women related issues on the other. Women related issues. General issues where we have to see, again, like we have to divide it in two, that is positive and negative. Same here. Positive and negative. Fine. So let's see, like general issues, what are the good things. The most important thing is infrastructural development that is perfect in such cities with IT, industry, development of IT industry. There's proper infrastructure that is related to education, health, yes, road transportation, telecommunications, communications overall. That's perfect one. Apart from that, very nice civic amenities, basic civic amenities that too is properly developed and it's being provided, it's given to the people. It has a very a good environment related to development. Progressive. This city, this place is highly progressive, developmental. So mindset of people also in the same way, and they have also the same attitude related to development. Yes. There is a high level of importance and acceptance to education. And so they are providing that level of education, different forms, different ways to their children. And that's the reason they're getting opportunities in so many ways related to employment. Fine. Because of this kind of environment and educational facilities that there is further enhancement and acceptance and promotion to innovations, creativities. So these children, they're coming up with all those innovative abilities and creative mindset that they're coming up. This place is in fact having a lot of ample opportunities for the bright future of children, the way we have just discussed. So bright future is also properly attached, it's related. Because of the presence of high level and medium level and new kind of employment or employable conditions, it has enhanced the number of middle class. So that is continuously increasing. The number of middle class people, that is continuously increasing. Yes. So of course, even the cultural element is also being preserved, because middle class is the best to preserve the culture. That too is working at this level. Because of all these things, we can say that there is economic empowerment overall, and all male and female, most of them, they are actually working. Even females, the number of females is good number of females. They're working outside, they are earning, and that way is a nice level of economic empowerment. Fine. Apart from that, there is proper platform created for the citizens. Yes, a solid platform is created where the citizens, not only that they're having awareness, knowledge about their rights, but in fact they are making use of their rights properly. Yes, there's something which is supported with proper environment that is related to digitalization. Yes, people are using smartphones and they're having internet facilities. That's perfectly working here, and they are making use of the same means. Now it is anything is there in your fingertips, and whatever problem suppose you're having as a citizen of that city, as a member, you just put your grievances to the concerned department with the help of your smartphone, and that's well addressed, properly addressed in time. So that is boosting the confidence of the people, and in that way they feel that they are good citizens, and they are being properly taken care of by the system. Fine. Because of this digitalization, there is good governance that is working because of digitalization. That is another important thing, and in that way, people are getting proper security, and all those things are working for, particularly for some vulnerable people, for women, for children, for aging population is working properly, and there is always good opportunities related to positive political development. So it means that people, they choose the government, they choose the people who who is showing one's dedication for the development of the city, rather than focusing on this caste and that religion. Yes, so that way the things work positively. So these are all positive issues related to general issues, positive. Now coming to negative, yes, some negative dimensions also there, and it is something is related to criminal activities, but that is something which is supported by one thing, and that is related to the big cities. There is one word which is used, urbanism. Urbanism means urban way of life. Urban way of life. One feature of urbanism, one way of life, is high level of individualism. Yes, that grows. High level of individualism means whatever is going on, you see the things, but you don't care. You just overlook. If someone who is doing some wrong activity, then you try to overlook it. That is meaning of individualism. या अधिक से अधिक क्या करोगे, बैठ के वहाँ खड़े होकर वहाँ पे कुछ वीडियो बना लिया. But suppose someone is thrashing someone or trying to snatch something from someone, but you don't interfere in that part. You don't support the victim. You support the wrongdoer. Indirectly though, but you do it. Just because that you are highly individualistic. Fine? Right? So in that way, criminal activities, like criminals, they easily, without any fear, they keep on doing such activities. And so also there is juvenile delinquency, that too is increasing, and particularly the one that is related to cyber crime, because it's a place where cyber activities are very prominent. So cyber crime as well, and that is either they become the victim or they perform those things. Youngsters, juveniles. So in that way they become delinquents. Just a minute. Increasing because of this, there's big pressure on the youth. They are incapable to tolerate that level of pressure, so they are attracted towards drug addiction. They become drug addict, they become alcoholic. That too is increasing. Corruption is very high. Begging is done in so many forms, so many ways. Yes. Women trafficking, that too is something which is done in different forms. And of course, earlier it was something like a fixed place was there where people used to go. Then after, call girls, rackets. But today, different massage parlors and all those, they're mushrooming in such cities, and that is making their conditions very pathetic, very poor. Definitely we'll discuss there, but apart from that, I told you begging, that too is done in so many forms, new ways. They create new ways to go for begging, and that is something is not considered good. It's not healthy thing. Yes. And apart from this, because of individualistic nature, people, they are moving into the nuclear families, but with negative aspects. There are so many negative aspects, like there's the huge generation gap in the family. Conflict is there between parents and children. Conflict is there between husband and wife. So there is divorce rate is increasing. Yes. That is something which is increasing. People do not give care to the aging population. Yes. And also even suicide rate is also increasing. So many negative issues also are attached. So that's why we have to see positive and negative. Now coming to women related issues. Positive thing that women are well educated in comparison to 20, 30 years back, what was their condition? 50 years back, what was their condition? The rural women versus urban women. You can compare and find out their condition is much better as far as education is concerned. Apart from that, they are well aware about their rights. Not just awareness, but they also know how to use the same thing. They're making use of their rights. That is another good aspect. Apart from that, women today, earlier they were in a subordinate position, but they have moved into a dominant position, or they are moving into dominant position. That is another good thing that is related to women. And in fact, when we talk about increasing divorce rate, so positive thing is that it is at the initiative of women. So earlier they have been completely suppressed and they were not raising their voice, but today they are raising their voice, and that is something which is culminating into this particular part. So that is positive thing is that they are becoming dominant in that way. I'm not saying that divorce is something which is good, but the positive thing is that either both of them they go for adjustment. Yes, if they go for that, then the same could be stopped. But if it is not done, it means that some problem is still gender inequality based problem is seen, and that is supposed to be corrected upon. Yes, so women's positive side cannot be minimized. That is something that we have to take. Well, apart from that, because of their women, they are in different fields, almost in all fields. They have moved, they are working. कोई फील्ड इसमें अनटच नहीं है जहाँ पे women काम नहीं कर रही हूँ, जहाँ पे पहुँच नहीं गई हूँ. They have moved in almost all fields. That is one. Second, that because of their such efforts and because of their empowerment, they are today in a position to improve the conditions related to fertility rate, mortality rate, IMR, MMR, I mean infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate. They are in a position to improve upon those things, right? And one more thing, that their role as a parent, and particularly women's role as a mother. Earlier it was like facilitator, but now for their own children they have become guide, mentor and friend. And that too is something which is considered very, very important for providing bright future to one's own children. So these are positive dimensions related to women. Now coming to negative. The most negative thing is related to their security. Since they are outgoing women, they have stepped out from the household, and they are threatened. In fact, they are, like sexual harassment at public place, at workplace. They are being they are victimized by acid attack. There's something which is increasing. Let me give you one report that was presented by Acid Survivors Trust International. Acid Survivors Trust International. According to its findings, every year in India, around 250 to 300 women, they are victimized in the name of acid attack. Yes. Sexual harassment, that's rampant, and in such cities it is very high. Overall in India, the one that is reported, in fact, so in the year 2018 we had 33,356 cases, rape cases. Almost similar we had in 2016 में थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही था, 38,000, around 39,000. Yes. So it's not just related to such cities. It is overall like in the whole country, but in such cities it is definitely very high. Fine. And apart from that, even they are victimized at home as well. Yes, domestic violence that is increasing because of the availability of the technology in the cities. In such cities, people go for sex selection of their children. Yes, since they want male children, so they go for female feticide. That is another bad thing which is related to the same thing. In domestic violence, even the cases related to dowry is also there. That is already included in the same, but that too is something which is related, and that is increasing. Yes. And apart from that, what we have seen, like women, they have been commodified, particularly after globalization. This process enhanced commodification of women, and that is something which is visible in different forms of prostitution. That is badly increasing. Yes. And apart from that, one more thing, like we've already discussed how, because of the impact of globalization, the women of lower class and lower middle class family, they forced to start doing some work as earner, and in that way there has been feminization of work and feminization of poverty. Now that we have just discussed. So in that way we have to cover this whole, and we have to discuss. Fine. Let's see another question. Discuss the main objectives of population education and point out the measures to achieve them in India in detail. Population education. Main objectives of population education. उसके बाद से आगे बात करेंगे measures to achieve them in detail. So let's first see the main objectives of population education. I mean, like education, like to impart education, to tell people about the issues related to population. So what are those issues, the one that we have to tell the people to make them aware? Let's see. First of all, there are certain indicators of population, and they are fertility rate, mortality rate, IMR, infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, sex ratio, child sex ratio. All these are different indicators, the one that we have to take here. So we have to tell, whatever way of telling the people, educating the people, we have to tell them about the present figure, the one that we have. That is one. And second, that what should be the standard figure, the one that we need to achieve, and for that what we have to do. So all these things, the one that we need to tell, and that is going to be the part of population education. That is one such thing. Second thing is, like when we talk about the fertility rate, we should know what is future, isn't it? We should know what is future of the same. और future की बात करेंगे तो we need to know, क्योंकि ultimately mothers, they have to reproduce. So we must be having proper calculation of the future mothers. और वो हम कैसे calculate करेंगे? So we do it with another indicator, that is GRR, gross reproduction rate. Gross reproduction rate. What is it? It is about the calculation, or the formula is that 0.49 से TFR को मल्टीप्लाई कर दो. TFR मीन्स टोटल फर्टिलिटी रेट. टोटल फर्टिलिटी रेट जो हमें एग्जैक्टली मतलब ये बताता है कि फर्टिलिटी रेट क्या है. 0.49, दैट इज अराउंड हाफ. 0.5 के आसपास है ना, लगभग हाफ के बराबर है. इसका मतलब कि अगर TFR में जो बच्चों की संख्या हम काउंट कर रहे हैं, if we take almost half the same, that is the population of girls, they are the one who are going to become the future mothers. So it is actually a count of future mothers. This is count of future mothers. Yes, ये फ्यूचर मदर का काउंट है. अब ये 0.49 क्यों है? तो इट इज नेचर जो है दोनों को बराबर नहीं पैदा करता है, मेल और फीमेल को. वेयर वी हैव 100 गर्ल्स, अगेंस्ट दैट देयर आर 105 बॉयज. नेचर ऐसे क्रिएट करके भेजता है. अब भ्रूण हत्या हम कर दें वो दैट्स अ डिफरेंट थिंग, बट नेचर इस तरीके से करके भेजता है क्योंकि सर्वाइबिलिटी ऑफ बॉयज आर लेसर दैन द सर्वाइबिलिटी ऑफ गर्ल्स. तो फाइनली वो नंबर बराबर हो जाता है, लेकिन दिस दैट नेचर मेक्स द जस्टिस. नेचर डज द जस्टिस इन दिस पर्टिकुलर वे. फाइन. सो इट्स अबाउट द फ्यूचर मदर्स. तो हमको पता चल गया कि फ्यूचर मदर्स मतलब आने वाले समय में क्या है, क्या होगी. अब पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ कैसे होगा? तो पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ को हम ऐसे काउंट करते हैं NRR से. NRR नेट रिप्रोडक्शन रेट. ये तो GRR था, ग्रॉस रिप्रोडक्शन. दिस इज नेट रिप्रोडक्शन रेट. एंड नेट रिप्रोडक्शन रेट मीन्स व्हेन इट इज 1 is equal to 1, this implies that population growth is equal to 0. This implies population growth का मतलब क्या होता है कि fertility rate minus mortality rate is equal to 0. This implies fertility rate is equal to mortality rate. अब ये दोनों जब बराबर हो जाएंगे तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? स्टेबल पॉपुलेशन. That population is either stable or going to become stable. Either it is stable or it is going to become stable. Yes, stable population. It may be more than 1. This implies population growth is greater than 0. This implies FR is greater than MR. This implies positive growth. मतलब बढ़ रही, पॉपुलेशन बढ़ रही है. If it is less than 1, just opposite that PG is less than 0. This implies FR is less than MR. This implies negative. ये कुछ जो बहुत डेवलप कंट्रीज है वहां पे ऐसा हो रहा है. Yes, it's seen in the countries like Germany, Austria, Switzerland, England, Japan. Yes, so many such countries. Negative growth is seen. Yes. हम कहाँ पे हैं? We are here. Greater than 1. This is our condition. So this is something that we have to tell. And what should be our target? This should be our target. और ये हमारे पॉपुलेशन पॉलिसी में भी था कि by 2010 we had to achieve TFR equivalent to 2.1. That's also known as replacement level. Once we achieve that one, then after it is said that after 35 years, means by 2045 we will be in a position to stabilize the population. अब वो अलग बात है, हम अचीव नहीं कर पाए, इसी को नहीं अचीव कर पाए, अब जाकर कहीं अचीव किए हैं. नाउ वी आर ऑलमोस्ट इक्विवेलेंट टू TFR equivalent is equal to 2.1. तो बाई 2070 या 75 मे बी लाइक पॉपुलेशन स्टेबलाइज कर पाए हम. तो दिस समथिंग दैट वी शुड नो, हमको पता होना चाहिए. हम अपने बारे में तो जानते हैं. मान लो कि आप गॉन फॉर 2 चाइल्ड नाउ, तो हमको लगता है कि यस, पैट माई बैक, मेरी पीठ थपथपाओ, मैंने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है. बट मुझे नहीं पता ना कि बगल में लोग क्या कर रहे हैं. पता चला कि एक जनाब है, वो तो 8 बच्चे पैदा करके बैठे हुए. यस, तो अब उनके 8 और मेरे 2 मिलकर के तो मतलब एवरेज तो 4 का हो गया ना फिर तो अपनी पीठ थपथपाने से कुछ नहीं होगा. यस, यू शुड नो योर एनवायरमेंट, यू शुड नो योर नेबर्स, यू शुड नो योर कंट्री, कि बाकी लोग की क्या कंडीशन है. यस, then accordingly like we have to think about कि हमें आगे क्या करना चाहिए and how we can control this one. That is meaning of population education, right? Apart from this, अब इसी चीज को बताने के लिए further we have different, A6 pyramid. or A6 distribution, whatever you say. and we have different models. Mexico model, USA model, Sweden model, German model. क्या है ये मॉडल्स और हम कहाँ हैं? मेक्सिको मॉडल मीन्स दिस वन, पीजी इज ग्रेटर देन 0, पॉजिटिव ग्रोथ चला, मतलब टीएफआर को भी अचीव नहीं किया गया है 2.1 के लेवल पे, दैट इज मेक्सिको मॉडल. तो टिल डेट वी हैव बीन हियर. यही इक्विवेलेंट टू इंडिया भी है. इंडिया की कंडीशन मेक्सिको मॉडल के बराबर है. यूएसए मॉडल मीन्स दैट यू हैव अचीव टीएफआर इक्विवेलेंट टू 2.1 and you're waiting for stabilizing the population. You haven't stabilized it, but you're waiting for the same. This is another model. Sweden means the one that you have stabilized the population is equal to 0. PG is equal to 0. ये लेवल अचीव कर लिया है. Yes, that is Sweden model. और जर्मन मॉडल ये लास्ट है, नेगेटिव ग्रोथ यहाँ पे हो रहा है. That FR means fertility rate is less than mortality rate. यानी बहुत कम बच्चे पैदा कर रहे हैं लोग, बहुत कम. टीएफआर जो है 2.1 नहीं, वो तो लगभग 1 के बराबर हो गया है उनका, या उससे भी नीचे जा रहा है. दिस कंडीशन इज वेरी पैथेटिक, वेरी पुअर. यस, इसका इम्पैक्ट डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड में भी आता है. हमारे पास कुछ नहीं तो डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड है. वी आर हैविंग पॉजिटिव ग्रोथ, तो दैट वे वी हैव गुड नंबर ऑफ people, good number of working population, and if we take care of those things properly, we can exploit that one in a positive direction, and वो demographic dividend हमें ही मिलेगा, किसी और को नहीं मिलेगा. So all these things we should know कि कैसे हमको करना है, किस तरीके से हमको आगे बढ़ना है. Apart from that, we should know about and in that we have to tell the people about reproduction health. What is reproduction health? It's about having safe and satisfactory sexual life. After marriage, you have safe and satisfactory sexual life. That is reproduction health, but that there's something is related to reproduction of children as well. Yes. So if you are having a good health, reproduction health, it means that you are going to procreate children, healthy children. That is something which is important, and we should know about these things, and we have to take care of these things in a proper manner. तो इसके साथ हम एक और चीज़ का ध्यान रखेंगे कि जो एडोलेसेंट जो हेल्थ है लड़कियों का, पर्टिकुलरली दैट्स नोन एज ARSH, एडोलेसेंट रिप्रोडक्शन सेक्सुअल हेल्थ, वी हैव टू मेंटेन इट इन अ प्रॉपर वे. यस, उनके अगर खाने वाने का पूरा हमको ध्यान रखना है तो उसका हम ध्यान रखेंगे, एंड लाइक वी हैव ऑलरेडी क्रिएटेड एंड वी आर डूइंग विथ दैट पर्टिकुलर स्कीम, सबलाइज स्कीम. तो उसमें हमने इसका भी ध्यान रखा है, उनके खाने पीने का ध्यान रखा है कि उनका रिप्रोडक्शन हेल्थ प्रॉपर तरीके से. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, वी हैव टू टेल देम, सपोज दे आर इन सम सेक्सुअल एक्टिविटीज, सो दे शुड नो लाइक नो व्हाट इज गुड फॉर देम, एंड लाइक व्हाट प्रिकॉशंस द वन दैट दे हैव टू टेक. कि वह प्रिकॉशन के तौर पर गलत चीज़ों का वो यूज़ कर लेती हैं और उनके रिप्रोडक्शन हेल्थ को बहुत बुरी तरीके से डैमेज करता है. सो all these knowledge the one that we have to put forward, and we have to tell to such girls, teenagers, ये हमको बताना है उनको. So that is another thing. तो ये इसका रिलेशन, इसको हमने सबला से अटैच करके देखा इसको. And apart from that, in school curriculum, the sex education, we have to tell them about the functioning of different organs, male female organs, but apart from that they should also know how to take care of their reproduction health as well. Fine. So when we provide all these knowledge related to population, this should be known as population education. Yes, अब इसको करें कैसे? How to do the same thing? Because we have different variety of people. They have variety of knowledge base, different level of knowledge base. Some people they have high level of knowledge, some people they have low level of knowledge. अब ये सब सारी चीज़ें तो समझ भी नहीं पाएंगे, वो तो बहुत तरीके से समझाना पड़ेगा उनको. So how to do? So first of all, we must be having a proper draft related to the population policy that is going to include everything like the one that we had in the year 2000 in a proper manner. वो हमारे पास होना चाहिए, ये हम उनको बताएं. In that we have to use media. This should be the part of the government. Government should use the media to continuously put forward the messages so that people they should be aware about smaller family size, one child norm, two child norm. इसके बारे में लोगों को पता हो, जान पाए. इतना ज़्यादा उसको बार बार दिखाया जाए, बार बार बताया जाए कि उसको जान पाए. But it should not be something like the way what when we had one population policy way back in 1976 during emergency. Emergency के time में that time we lost all our fundamental rights. But forcefully sterilization of people that was done. उनको sterilize किया जा रहा था. Those days Jayaprakash Narayan, he was a great leader. He was opposing this one. I mean, basically he was opposing the strict rules related to emergency. And he was supported by many young leaders. One of them was Lalu Prasad Yadav. He was a young leader that time. He was already father of two children. By that time he was father of two children. But he said that I'm going to oppose this policy in a very practical manner. ऐसे मुंह से कहे कि बात नहीं बनेगी कि मैं अपोज कर रहा हूँ, मैं अपोज कर रहा हूँ. आई एम गोइंग टू डू इट इन अ वेरी प्रैक्टिकल मैनर. और मैं दिखाऊंगा और कांग्रेस को दिखाऊंगा मैं कि मतलब अपोज किसको कहते हैं, यस, प्रोटेस्ट किसको कहते हैं. एंड फाइनली व्हाट ही डिड, ही प्रोक्रिएटेड 7 more children अपार्ट फ्रॉम दोज दो के अलावा 7 और बच्चे पैदा करके उन्होंने शो किया कि इसको बोलते हैं प्रोटेस्ट करना. तो ये जो 7 और बच्चे उनके हैं वो प्रोटेस्ट का नतीजा है. वो नहीं तो वो शायद पैदा नहीं हुए होते. यस, I mean, this is what Lalu Prasad Yadav himself said. मैं उनके ही मुंह से सुना हूँ. That's what I'm telling you. Anyway, jokes apart, but the thing is like this is the way that we have to put forward the message, and commonly it goes to everyone. बार बार करो कि उनका ब्रेन वॉश हो. जहाँ पे मीडिया एप्लीकेबल नहीं है वहाँ पे NGOs को भेजो. Send NGOs. They will do the same thing. Fine. So that with so many campaigns and efforts by NGOs, that will bring a good result. Apart from that, we have to bring lucrative programs. The one that will attract the people. Because of that, they will go for a smaller version. The one that we have something like Janani Suraksha Yojana. Yes, that go for institutional delivery and you get some money. Mother, she will get some money. Yes. So that is like for 2 children, but only up to 2 children. तो इससे क्या होगा कि जो जितना ज़्यादा इंस्टीट्यूशनल डिलीवरी होगा, we will be in a position to minimize IMR and MMR. Yes, हम उसको minimize कर लेंगे. Right. And apart from that, the role of ASHA activists, that is another very important thing, but they must be properly incentivized. Then only they will be in a position to do their work in a proper manner, and that will be fruitful. In school curriculum, it should be put in school curriculum. उसको proper तरीके से हम रखें और रियली में हम लाएं, मतलब प्रैक्टिकल ग्राउंड पे हम लाएं, जो जनरली दिया नहीं जा रहा है. Except a few private schools, generally sex education is not provided in the schools, but it should be part of that curriculum. Yes, and apart from that, some schemes like Sabla, and the same should be properly strengthened. It should be properly strengthened, such schemes, so that the benefit of the same should go to the people in a proper manner, and it's not just about educating them, but in fact to bring them to practical level, and we could get that desired level of goal that actually we have set. for ourselves. Fine. That's like we have to discuss the answer of this question. So let's see the next question. What is cryptocurrency? How does it affect global society? Has it been affecting Indian society also? Okay, cryptocurrency. So you must have studied the same in economy very thoroughly, but as far as its impact is concerned, we'll definitely see global impact as well as India. So what is global? That is going to be Indian as well, because we are globalized. So any impact which is there in big countries, developed countries, that is there in developing countries as well, almost. First of all, what is cryptocurrency? Is in fact a virtual currency that is working on the blockchain technology and is secured by cryptography. Is properly secured, end-to-end encryption. Yes, but there is no government control. Government agencies control is not there in this part. Yes, it's a proper currency that is used for transaction, that is used in a way like capital formation. Yes, it's used in the form of investment. In so many ways that is used. Well, global impact. First of all, it is since one currency that is being circulated and is working in the world as a whole. So it's going to create a uniformity in terms of currency. It is going to create uniformity. So homogeneity. Yes, homogeneity is being created, and in that way it is going to bring economic integration in the society. In society means in the world as such. It is likely to create economic integration. Fine. That is the most important thing. Another thing that it will eliminate currency monopoly. We had diversity of currencies in the world, and a few of them, they were actually dominating the whole world as such. But it will eliminate that level of domination and so monopoly. Yes, that cryptocurrency is virtual and it is going to work for everyone uniformly. Through this, the speedier, faster transaction is possible. It is going to be cheap as well. No, extra money is involved. The way you have to pay in the bank, different kinds of fees and all those that you have to pay, processing fee and this and that is not applicable here. So that way it is going to become cheaper. Yes. One more thing, like as I told you, it is a kind of is one such currency that is used for capital formation or investment part. Yes, asset formation. Without having a physical possession of the same, we can have it. Physical possession, like we have gold, but we have fear, like fear related to security of the same. Yes, theft issues could be there, and just because of the same, to save it, we go to the bank, we use locker. That too is not that safe. क्रिप्टोकरेंसी के साथ ऐसा नहीं है, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम होगी ही नहीं. Yes, so always on safer hands. It seems as if you are having safer side with the same. Fine. So that is another good important thing. And it is going to minimize the importance of intermediaries like banks. Banks जो intermediaries के फॉर्म में अभी तक काम कर रहे थे, उनके रोल को minimize करेगा. And so dependency on banks as well, that is also minimized. Now the same thing is you need money, you have to go for transaction, and that the same could be done with the help of cryptocurrency. Yes. So that is another thing that that is a kind of impact, global impact on that we could see today, and in future we are going to see more than that. Some negative issues also there. These are positive things. Now some negative issues that it is going to eliminate sovereignty of the countries in terms of issuing currencies. Sovereignty means like this is my right. There is no interference, external interference in this particular part, like what should be my currency and how to regulate the same, how to create and regulate the same, how to issue the same. This is what the government of that particular country would do, but there is no requirement of those things now. And in that way, it is going to, infringe that part, sovereignty part. Yes. Apart from that, there is almost no stability here, high level of fluctuation that is there. So you cannot think about economic stability. The way you think about economic stability in terms of currency and with the help of banking system and some such schemes, that is not possible here. Yes, and that is having many more socio-economic, cultural, and even psychological repercussions. Yes, people may have many more issues, neurological problems. Yes, they may suffer when there is some fallback. They may suffer from some depression problems, anxiety problems. Yes, so these issues also involved. The bitter thing is terror funding. With the help of cryptocurrency, it is supposed to be done easily. So again, like no money laundering and no money that is required. तो उनके लिए बहुत आसान हो जाएगा ये. Yes, easily that funding is done. That could be done, and that is further supported with another thing, like is drug trafficking, drug smuggling. That too is now done with the help of this kind of transaction, cryptocurrency. So it is going to get enhanced, and that will bring further many criminal activities, drug addiction, alcoholism, and that will be added with many more criminal activities. Yes. Terrorism is a big problem that is in the offing. वो अब बहुत भयंकर रूप ले सकता है. Yes. And apart from that, it is further going to create a digital divide, क्योंकि जो digitally illiterate होंगे वो इसका use नहीं कर पाएंगे, वो beneficiary नहीं हो पाएंगे इसके. Yes. So these are the impacts on that we can have, as a global impact on that we can have, and all these things are usually seen in our country as well. But some more things on that we can add as far as the Indian society is concerned. And positive thing is that as a profession, it is going to come up, going to emerge, and it will provide employment to many such people who are going to get expertise in the same. Yes, that is one such thing. And next thing is like as we have discussed, in money exchange, the different charges were applicable, like conversion charges. Yes, processing fee and all these things that is not applicable here. So it is in that way, it is going to become cheaper part. Whenever you're going to have any exchange your money, or going to get it liquidated, so it will be cheaper for you. That is another good thing. Good thing is that high level of return is seen, and that is attracting people, particularly the youth. They are being attracted, but they generally forget and overlook the risk factors involved, and that may put them at the bad side, negative side, with many more repercussions. Yes, and apart from that, it may be used as a means of extortion as well. Yes, it is going to get used. I mean, digital extortion will be another mode, another way what people they would choose and they would go for. So many such things that we can add, and already like the global impacts, many of those things are related to Indian part as well. So that's why we have to discuss the impact of cryptocurrency. Okay. Now next thing is, how does Indian society maintain continuity in traditional social values? Enumerate the changes taking place. तो ये दूसरा पार्ट है, पहले हमको ये दिखाना है कि continuity कैसे in traditional social values. Well, this is something which is related to, of course, salient features of Indian society, and the first thing we are going to take, that is caste system. Here, as far as continuity is concerned, that is seen in the form of caste identity. Now, this is something which is becoming very important for the people, and this caste identity is the one, because देखो caste system तो वैसे लगभग खत्म हो चुका है, जो उसका मेन फीचर था वो तो बचा ही नहीं। तो आज अगर फिर भी कास्ट को हम कैरी कर रहे हैं, व्हाई डू वी कैरी इट? इट्स जस्ट इन द नेम ऑफ आइडेंटिटी दैट वी आर कैरिंग, एंड इट इज क्वाइट विजिबल इन टू फॉर्म्स, दैट इज कास्ट एसोसिएशंस. Like you hear about so many such samaj, Brahmarshi Samaj, Dalit Samaj, Rajbhar Samaj, yes, Nai Sammelan, Akhil Bharti Kurmi Sammelan, Agrawal Sammelan, what not. I mean, for each and every caste there is one particular association, and they are being targeted by the political leaders. Yes, वो इसी को अपना वोट बैंक बना करके देखो कैसे उठा पटक हो रही है, लोग यहाँ से निकल के वहाँ जा रहे हैं, वहाँ से on the basis of same. So the next thing is politicization of caste. And that is seen in the form of caste chemistry. Caste chemistry. Chemistry means equations. Equations बन रहे हैं ना, अजगर जैसे काम करता था, अभी भी कर रहा है अजगर. A for Ahir, J for Jat, G for Gujar, R for Rajput. खाम ये कहाँ पे काम कर रहा है? It is in Western Uttar Pradesh, the adjacent Haryana and Rajasthan. खाम in Rajasthan, Gujarat. खाम in Gujarat. K for Kshatriya, H for Harjan, A for Ahir, M for Muslim. MY in Bihar, it worked, still it is working. Muslim Yadav. 2015 के इलेक्शन में MY के कुर्मी भी ऐड हो गया था. Social engineering in Uttar Pradesh, way back in 2007 when BSP won with absolute majority with the combination of Dalits and Brahmins. Yes. In Gujarat election, Patel and Dalits role, that was very prominent, and this time you could see in Uttar Pradesh the way things go on. Fine. That is about caste chemistry. That's why it is being continued. तो अभी भी कॉन्टिन्यूटी का पार्ट हमको दिख रहा है इस वे में. ओके, नेक्स्ट थिंग इज ज्वाइंट फैमिली. ज्वाइंट फैमिली, हाउ ज्वाइंट फैमिली इज मेंटेन्ड? तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ प्रेस्टीज फॉर दोज पीपल who still want to continue, they continue for the matter of prestige. ज्वाइंट फैमिली में होना प्रेस्टीज का मामला है, तो they continue it. Apart from that, when an option is given to you, I mean, what is good for you? What do you like? Whether family welfare or individual welfare, which is good thing for you? And if you like family welfare, it means that your orientation is there towards the jointness. If you like individual welfare, it means that your orientation is there towards the nuclear family. So if it is still maintained, it means that family welfare is working. Yes, plus conjugal role of husband wife. The way it was divided earlier, that husband had to work outside, wife had to work inside, and there was no similarity, no interference in each other's matters. So in that way it was completely segregate conjugal role, but it may become joint, like when there is no difference between wife role and husband role. I mean, what is husband's role is also wife's role, what is wife's role is also husband's role. So that is called joint conjugal role. लेकिन हमारे यहाँ भी क्या है, हमारे यहाँ भी सेग्रीगेट कंजुगल रोल, ज्यादातर मामलों में सेग्रीगेट कंजुगल रोल है, सेग्रीगेट कंजुगल रोल. It is still working. And apart from that, one more thing, the one that we can add here, that is about the Mitakshara rule. Mitakshar rule related to inheritance of property. अभी भी वही rule, the बेशक we have different rule, legal matters we have, यहाँ पे लड़कियों को भी मिल रहा है लीगली, बट जनरली neither they are taking nor they are given. मिताक्षर रूल मीन्स मेल चाइल्ड को मिलता था, वो प्रॉपर्टी इनहेरिट कर रहा था, आज भी कर रहा है. तो दैट रूल इज स्टिल वर्किंग एंड दैट इज सपोर्टिंग इन दैट वे जॉइंट फैमिली. इट इज सपोर्टिंग जॉइंट फैमिली. फाइन. ओके. नेक्स्ट थिंग इज मैरिज. वन मोर थिंग, दैट इवन टुडे blood relations are more important for people than the marriage relations. ब्लड रिलेशन जहां भी होंगे वहां पे ज्वाइंटनेस आपको ज्यादा दिखेगी. ब्लड रिलेशंस देन द मैरिज रिलेशंस. एंड नेक्स्ट थिंग इज मैरिज. मैरिज नहीं, आई मीन लाइक हु एक्चुअली गोज फॉर द मेड सिलेक्शन. शादी होनी है, जिस बच्चे की शादी होनी है, क्या वो खुद अपने लिए मतलब अपनी पत्नी ढूंढता, मतलब लड़की ढूंढता है, या लड़की जो अपने लिए लड़का ढूंढ रही है? हु इज डूइंग इट? यस, सो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द बॉन्ड बिटवीन पेरेंट्स एंड चिल्ड्रन. द गुड बॉन्ड, parents and children, and that is the reason still it is done by maid selection. Maid selection is done by parents. अभी वही, और वो जब मेड सिलेक्शन वो करेंगे तो कहाँ जाएंगे? अपनी जात में ही जाएंगे. and that is the reason maximum marriages still, I mean around 95% marriages are they are endogamous, means in the same caste. Endogamous marriages, ये गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का आंकड़ा है. yes, this is today's data. So that is another thing that we have to discuss. And one more thing, that since dowry is very important for the people. yes, और वो कैसे मिलेगा? तो जब आप ट्रेडिशनल तरीके से जाओगे तभी आपको डाउरी मिलेगी. इफ यू गो फॉर इंटरकास्ट मैरिज, love marriage, you're not eligible for the same thing. So you have to follow the same traditional rule. तो उन्हीं वैल्यूज के अकॉर्डिंग चलो आप, तब डाउरी आपको मिलेगी. So and this something which is further related to the prominence of male child. Prominence of male child. Yes. So the things continue in that way. Continuity is there. As far as women are concerned, women are still considered as इज्जत. अभी भी वो इज्जत के फॉर्म में देखी जाती हैं. yes, ऑनर के फॉर्म में देखी जाती हैं. so also traditional things work. and there's something which is related to patriarchal rule. Patriarchy. Well, apart from that, religion, when we talk about religion, strong belief. Why it is continued? Still it is continued because of strong belief plus personal law. That it is continued. Some cultural elements in the form of different festivals. In fact, they are related to religious part, related to religion. And since religion is related to strong belief and personal law, so ये festivals भी अभी भी उसी तरीके से continue हैं, अभी भी चल रहे हैं उसी तरीके से काफ़ी हद तक. And after globalization, what happened? There has been the things like localization, relocalization. Localization means like global things we accept in a local manner. अपने तरीके से, चाहे उनका एक्सेंट मतलब उनकी लैंग्वेज हो, इंग्लिश वी स्पीक, वी लर्न, वी स्पीक इंग्लिश बट इन आवर ओन वे, अपने तरीके से हम करते हैं. वी एक्सेप्ट देयर फूड बट वी ईट इन आवर ओन वे. यस, बर्गर खाते हैं पूरा फेस पे हम लगा लेते हैं खाते समय, तभी मज़ा भी आता है ना, वैसे कहाँ मज़ा आता है. कई लोग तो तोड़ के हाथ से ही खाते हैं. यस, नूडल्स, व्हेन यू टेक नूडल्स, यू ईट नूडल्स, यू इंडियंस ईट विथ स्पून. दो चॉपस्टिक होना चाहिए, उससे खाना चाहिए आपको, वो जो ओरिजिनल वे है. बट चॉपस्टिक में तो हम वो स्टिक ही खा जाएंगे हम तो, वो तो सड़क के नीचे जाएगा नूडल, स्टिक पता चला खाने लग गए. यस, तो वी टेक इट इन आवर ओन वे. दैट इज मीनिंग ऑफ लोकलाइजेशन. Relocalization, that is related to revivalism. So some of our traditions, they were dying somehow, so we got a way after globalization to revive the same, so we went for relocalization. And that is done in such a manner that there has been universalization as well, that it is now being universally applicable. Yes, बहुत सारे ऐसे festivals हैं like Ganesh Mahotsav, that was earlier it was celebrated in Maharashtra only, but now it is celebrated in the whole country. Garba, that was celebrated in Gujarat, but it's being celebrated everywhere in the whole country. Yes. Karwa Chauth, that was celebrated mostly the people in Punjab, and even Lohri and all those, so that is being celebrated everywhere now. Yes. Chhat, that originated from Bihar, but now it's not just internationally but internationally as well, it's being celebrated. So that way there has been universalization as well. Universalization. Yes, and there is another thing that's known as ethnic culture. तो जो एथनिक चीजें हैं, जो एथनिक कल्चर था, दैट टू इज यूनिवर्सलाइज्ड इंटरनेशनली. हमारे यहाँ की जो बहुत छोटी छोटी जो बेसिक खाने पीने की चीज़ें थी, दैट इज बीइंग डन आउटसाइड. इन इटली में आपको राजस्थानी दाल बाटी चूरमा खाने को मिल जाएगा. यस, सो दैट वे. पटियाला सूट, दैट्स वेरी फेमस इन कनाडा, अमेरिका. यस, सो दैट वे एथनिक कल्चर, दैट टू इज यूनिवर्सलाइज्ड. तो इस तरीके से ट्रेडिशनल जो चीज़ें हैं कैसे, तो उनको हम अलग अलग तरीके से ऐसे करके दिखाएंगे, लाइक हाउ दे आर स्टिल बीइंग कंटिन्यूड. अनदर थिंग इज enumerate the changes taking place in it. Okay, so in caste system you have to show the changes, like in its features changes have been there, and most important feature of caste system was related to occupation. Occupation is mostly changed. It is mostly changed. Another thing is commensality, like eating food together, that was not allowed. That two different caste people, they were not allowed to eat food together, but today it is done because of buffet system, and it's applicable everywhere in all like urban and rural areas. People, they have chosen buffet system, and in that way, like they take food, they take meal together, so no commensality problem is there, no restriction is there. Yes, there is earlier there were caste associations like caste panchayat and caste council, but it is no more present. Hierarchy, that was working earlier, caste hierarchy, but the role is minimized. Its role is minimized, and to a great extent there has been change in untouchability part as well. So in that way you have to discuss the changes as far as caste system is concerned. Coming to joint family. In Western societies, they have moved from joint family to nuclear family directly. But what we did, yes, जो हमारे यहाँ हुआ है, हमारे यहाँ एक्चुअली हुआ है ऐसे कि हम न्यूक्लियर फैमिली में जाते हैं लेकिन फिर चले जाते हैं ज्वाइंट फैमिली में आफ्टर सम टाइम. देयर इज अ साइक्लिकल मूवमेंट. दिस इज नोन एज डेवलपमेंटल साइकिल ऑफ फैमिली. Developmental cycle of family. So we haven't exactly moved from joint family to nuclear family the way it happened in Western societies. हम इसमें इस साइकिल में हम मूव कर रहे हैं. So whether it is the family of अमिताभ बच्चन के बेटे की शादी से पहले क्या था, that was a nuclear family, but now it has become a joint family with 3 generations. Now is proper joint family. Yes. And this is something which is happening in each and every family. हर घर में ऐसे ही होता है. Like you may start with a nuclear family. You have your children, and when those children they're grown up and they are getting married. तो उसमें जो लड़का है वो after getting married he is bringing his wife to this house, and the day they enter in this house as husband wife, this house becomes a joint family. तो अभी तक nuclear family थी, वो joint family हो जाती है. This is what is happening in all families, right? That's why we have talked about change. As far as marriage is concerned, so in marriage at least the consent of children that's being taken, जिनकी शादी हो रही उनका consent तो लिया ही जा रहा है ना. That is one change. Second change is related to age at marriage. So late marriages are taking place now these days. Earlier it was child marriage, but today we can say that for boys it is the average age at marriage is 28 years, and average age at marriage for girls is more than 23 years. So that is another change, the one that we can quote here, that we can see. Yes. And apart from that we have some alternatives as well. कुछ है, थोड़ा मतलब ज़्यादा नहीं. Like people in India also, a few people they are going into live-in relationship. But है तो चेंज है तो उसको कोट करना पड़ेगा. यस. ओके. नेक्स्ट थिंग इज एज रिलीजन. इन टर्म्स ऑफ रिलीजन वी कैन से दैट people are becoming secular now. That is a change. Secularism that we have adopted. Now constitution also we have adopted. People got their rights, personal rights, and they have chosen that one as well. So people that are becoming secular. Secularism, and so like individually they are becoming secular. And as far as festivals are concerned, so as far change is concerned in festivals, so there is universalization process. Universalization is a change. Yes, वो change भी अपने आप में है, वो continuity भी है और change भी अपने आप में, right? So that's why like we have to discuss changes as well. So continuity and change, that's why we have to discuss in different such forms, right? So these are the questions. I think this was last year's. These are the questions that we have to discuss, and hope this will help you to frame your answer. If you have already written, you can check like how well you have written, and hope you have written good. So all the best to all of you. Yes. I'll see you in another program, and in fact in another, like for social justice also, I'll discuss the questions. So all the best to all of you.